many times, but it's just it's great.
Good evening, everyone. I'll call the meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. Can we have a roll call, please?
Board Member Ernestine Lopez.
Present.
Board Member Patricia Santioni.
Present.
Board Member Norma Gonzalez.
Present.
Board Member Tina Flores.
Present.
Board Member Dolores Rivera.
Here.
Student Board Member Sarai Jaramillo.
Here.
Student Board Member Cassandra Sam.
Here.
Superintendent Dr. Alejandro Alvarez.
Here.
Dr. Julie Harrison.
Here.
Maricela Barba.
Present.
Tamika Lee Nolasco.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to read an update for public comment procedures. So the Board of Education has recently updated its procedures regarding public comment. Requests to address the board for public comment related to closed or open session agenda items or topics under the board's subject matter jurisdiction must be made by submitting a public comment card provided by the district. These cards will be available 30 minutes before the scheduled start of the meeting at the entrance table of the board meeting venue. The district's public comment card must be submitted to the secretary at the time the board begins public comments related to closed session. Late public comment cards will not be accepted pursuant to board bylaws. Members of the public must identify themselves on the public comment card in such a manner as to allow the board to recognize them for public comments. Since each board meeting agenda is different, the actual point in time at which the board will begin public comment is subject to change. Members of the public are encouraged to arrive on time. This announcement will be shared at the beginning of each board meeting for the remainder of this current school year to ensure the community is aware of the recent updates. If you would like to address the board at this meeting, please complete a public comment card and submit it to staff in a timely manner. Thank you. We'll move on to approval of the agenda for the regular board meeting of May 27, 2025. Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Rivera, seconded by Ms. Stanzioni. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Aye. 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 Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. Move on to pledge of allegiance. At this time, with the superintendent kindly lead us in the pledge.
Please stand. Face the flag. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks.
Item 2 is staff presentations and recognitions. The first item we have is the Bassett Unified School District's DLAC presentation. Dr. Alvarez.
Thank you, Board President, members of the board. I'd like to ask Mr. Jason Tavai to please come to the podium and introduce our DLAC parents who are doing a brief presentation to the board on their meetings and discussing things they would like to see within the LCAP.
Thank you. Good evening, Board President Semental, members of the school board, Superintendent Alvarez. Per California Code of Regulations, Title V, Section 11,308, the District English Learner Advisory Committee, or DLAC, shall make recommendations to the Board of Education annually with regard to matters concerning English learners in the Bassett Unified School District. It is my pleasure to introduce now our DLAC President, Ms. Martha Martinez. And we are joined with some other members of our DLAC, so you're welcome to join us at the podium. And they have prepared a statement of highlights from this school year and recommendations for next year. Ms.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Dear members of the board, my name is Marta Martinez, and I would like to share the highlights from the 2024-2025 school year and some recommendations to support the learning and promote a more equitable education. So let's start. District English Learners Advisory Committee. Annual recommendations to the Board of Education 2025. Highlights from the 2024-2025 school year. Parents appreciated the reclassification ceremony this year. It was great to see our students be honored for their achievement. The DLAC appreciates the Board of Education taking action of 2 of our recommendations from last year. We appreciated the addition of a second parent academy in the spring and information meetings school principals and staff are having with English learner students, so they know what their goals are and how reclassification works. We also appreciate the placement of reading intervention TOSAs at the schools. These TOSAs are helping those children who are having some difficulty reading to improve their skills. I'm sorry, I'm literally, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, thank you. During DLAC meetings, we engage in activities centered around the year roadmap, a district-wide needs assessment, ELD program goals and objectives, AL teacher and instructional aid requirements, the reclassification process, written notifications to parents of English learners, and the LCAP. Recommendations for actions and expenditures for the 2025-2026 school year. Recommendation 1. Establish a process for the district to share the growth we are making on our goals at the district level with the community more often throughout the school year. This data should include academics as well as attendance. Recommendation 2. It is recommended that the district develop a framework that reinforces teachers' commitment to creating a classroom environment in which English learners feel respected, safe, and supported in their academic and personal development. Recommendation 3. Create a K-12 math scope and sequence with unified math resources across grade levels. Establish a math task force to lead professional development for teachers in order to create cohesion in math instruction. This should include ensuring that essential standards are vertically aligned over all grades. Recommendation 4. Focus the EL task force on identifying unified essential ELA, ELD standards using the current ELD program. Also provide more professional development for ELD teachers. Consider hiring an ELD coordinator. Recommendation 5. Include opportunities for testimonials at the reclassification ceremony. Recommendation 6. To increase parent engagement, offer incentives for students whose parents attend events and meetings at all schools. Recommendation 7. Provide special t-shirts for parents who participate in committees like ELAC, School Site Council, and others, or volunteer at schools. Recommendation 8. Create opportunities for cultural events and fairs at each school to celebrate and uplift culture. Thank you for your attention and for your continued commitment to improving our education system. I remain at your disposal for any clarification.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Excuse me, un momento, por favor, ¿pueden regresar?
Yes, sure.
Yes, thank you. Please come back, thank you.
Are there any questions from the board? Ms.
Not
Lotus?
necessarily a question, but just thank you so much. Thank you so much for your commitment and dedication to the committee. It really is much appreciated, and we really value your suggestions and recommendations, and look forward to seeing how they can be put into place to help support our students.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all of you coming. It's brave of you to stand up there and do the report. And some of your recommendations are really good, especially like the one of getting your own t-shirts to identify the parents that are at the events, at school site, and that way other parents could see who they could talk to or who they could go to as a parent. So that would be a good way to identify the committees. So thank you. so much.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you so much for coming here. Gracias por su presentación.
Gracias.
I do want to thank you for your time, your commitment to your students and to all students. It's very much appreciated. It really warms my heart to see you here. So muchas gracias por todo su support.
Gracias. Gracias.
Thank you all. This is so well thought out. Every
Thank you.
point on here will better our students. I'm really looking forward to cultural events and fairs though,
Yeah.
because it's something I push in my class. The richness of the culture here needs to be maintained through our children. So what you're doing is great. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you. For myself, I'm what my generation calls a no sabo kid. We're kind of like Hafsa, where like I do understand Spanish, I just can't speak it. So yeah, that's what we call ourselves now. So thank you for coming
Yeah,
to
yeah.
us and speaking on this. I would like to see, I don't want this to just be a speech you all came and then that's it. We don't actually take action on it. So I would like to see if maybe before the school year begins, maybe at the July 22nd board meeting, we could have some type of report back to see what of these advisements we could implement to the next school year, or at least what it's something that has already been implemented, what can be. So just following up on that, if that's okay with staff. But thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
And thank you, Mr. Devite, for leading.
Yes, thank you.
We'll now move on to item number 2, our Associate Student Body Student Board Member recognitions. Dr. Alvarez.
Thank you, Board President, members of the board. I did want to take an opportunity since this is Ms. Jaramillo and Ms. Sam's last official board meeting with us as our student board members, give them a little recognition. We've got a little flag for you. I think it would be good if it's okay with you, starting with Ms. Jaramillo, if you could just say a few words to the board of your experience as a board member, the community hear you, how you thought it went, what you've learned, and what you're doing after graduation.
Well, I just want to say thank you to everyone. It was really a great opportunity. I really love hearing like all the comments and like all the concerns from the community, and I thought it was a really nice opportunity, and especially to be able to like share that with the students at our school who might not know what's going on. And yeah, all of you guys were super kind and super welcoming when I came in here. So yeah, thank you.
There you go.
I just want to say thank you for this opportunity and helping me like share my voice for others and speaking out for others. It's a great opportunity to learn about leadership and just like what's it's like to speak out for the community. And yeah, I just really am grateful for this. Thank you.
Yeah. Take a quick picture. Oh, thank you. Let me just move this out of the way.
I thought those maybe still looking like.
This is very sweet.
No, you're in the middle.
Your face, you want to scoot over a bit?
Yeah, I know. I think I'm like, no.
Windows,
Okay, there you go,
windows.
there.
Ready, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
I'm sure we'll embarrass you more during our board member comments. Now move on to item number 3. This is the Bassett High School MESA program. So Dr. Alvarez.
Yes, thank you, Board President, members of the board. I would like to ask Dr. Maldonado if she could please come up here. As you know, and some of you have attended the Bassett High School MESA program competition at Cal State LA. And so I asked Dr. Maldonado to come in today to give a kind of overview of what the MESA program is and our students' accomplishments, and obviously recognize them as well as the instructor.
Good afternoon, Board President Cimental, members of the board, and of course, the superintendent and cabinet, and of course, community. I'm the proud principal of Bassett High School, and I'm here very honored to be able to share a little bit about our MESA program. But in order to do that, I'm gonna bring up the people who make it happen. So I'm gonna bring up Mr. Velasco, Mr. Castillo, who will share some information with you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Juan Castillo, a math teacher and math advisor at Bassett High School.
My name is Mr. Velasco, engineering teacher at Bassett High School.
So one of the things we wanted to share is this year in the MESA program, we grew the membership to 35 students. And we have 15 seniors, 9 sophomores, 9 freshmen, and 2 juniors. We're sad to see the 15 seniors graduate, but we're also excited to see, the goal of the program is always to expose students to the engineering profession. And I know of 2 of the seniors that are planning to pursue a career in engineering. So that's exciting to hear. And they're going to great universities, so they'll tell you a little bit more about that. For the other students that are not pursuing engineering, I still believe the program is a great way for them to see the engineering design process that I think can help in every aspect of life, identifying a problem or a need, looking at background information about what's already taken place, coming up with ideas as to what can be done, then creating the product, testing the product, dealing with the failure of it not working the way it's supposed to work and trying again. And so we know that success comes from many failures many times. And so we're really proud of all the students. We were able to get a lot of students to come and be here today. They're all the students that participated either at prelims or regionals. Prelims is the first competition, and the students that place first get to advance to regionals. And so this was the first year that we had a group of students advance to regionals, so that was exciting for them to experience that. And we're just looking forward to grow that, continue that in the coming years. Since there's a few ninth graders and we look forward to recruiting more, we hope that the program grows and just try to get more kids to pursue engineering, knowing that it's a well-paying field and there's a big need for it. So that's the goal of the program. So I think, well, is there time for the students to introduce themselves and what they're doing?
Yes, of course.
So, all the students are gonna come up and just kind of say what you did and where you're going.
First place winner.
Hello, my name is Kalina. My name is Brianna Aguilera. And we're the MESA students who did the competition for the cargo glider. In prelims, we won first place, and for regionals, we won first place in design. I plan on pursuing law, and then I'm going to UC Riverside.
I also plan on going to UC Riverside too and majoring in biology to become an orthodontist. Is that it?
Hi, my name is Andrea.
My name is JC. I'm Caitlin.
So we also participated in MESA regionals, or at MESA prelims, we came first place for the MESA machine, and then we also came third place for design. So because we came first place, we also went to regionals, and at regionals, we came second place for design. After high school, I will be going to USD, and I'm going to be majoring in aerospace engineering. So I'm super excited about it. Fight on.
I'm planning to attend UC San Diego, and I'm going to be majoring in psychology on a pre-law path in hopes of being a lawyer in the future.
Went to UCR. I'm studying life sciences and hopes to have a career in something in the science field. I'm not sure what yet, but I know that's what I want to pursue.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mercer Ramirez, and me and my partner Kaylin, we at prelims we competed in the impromptu speech, and me, Kaylin, and Ariana got third place. And I will be going to University of Connecticut and majoring in computer engineering.
Melissa already mentioned me, but I'm Caitlin Rodriguez, and like she said, me, Ariana, and herself also got third place, and me, Ariana, and Valerie also participated in the MESA machine, which was very fun, but unfortunately we did not place, but it was really fun since we got to use water motion in our machine. I will be going to Mount Sac, and I hope to go into the psychology field so I can become a child therapist or social worker. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, my name is Haley Mederos, and I've been in the MESA program for around 3 years. And so far, the whole 3 years I've been working on the MESA machine. And we've tried our best on it, but it was a good experience. But we didn't move on to regionals, but it was a really good experience. Like for although it's not what I'm majoring in, I'm going to be majoring in business administration, but specifically international business. And I'm gonna be going to Cal Poly Pomona. But although it's not what I'm going to be majoring in, it honestly helped me a lot more than I expected to help me in real world problems and how to apply like quick thinking and critical thinking into it, because business does require that a lot. So I did not want to join at first, but I'm honestly so glad I stayed because I did learn a lot. And but that's honestly what I hope to be doing, and it will help me apply it to my life lessons in business. And I specifically in my future want to create an e-commerce platform and have many streams of income through many platforms to help me in my experience of business. But yeah.
Hi, first I'd like to thank you all for being here. I know you're taking time out of your day to listen to us. My name is Melanie Parad. I'm also the president of the club. I'm going to Cal Poly Pomona and majoring in business, and no, I'm not going into engineering. I did want to go into engineering, but throughout being in the program, I realized engineering was not what I wanted to do. It was really fun, don't get me wrong. I really like to make stuff, build things. I weirdly like the process of failing and then failing, and then finally, succeeding. And MESA has taught me that because you fail a lot before you can succeed. But being president, I've been here since the beginning that I came, but being the president has taught me a lot of leadership skills and what it takes. I also did the MESA machine the last 2 years, but this year I did the what's it?
Moon base.
Oh, the moon base. And even though I didn't do every single project, I did learn about what every single project was. That way I could help anybody who needed help with their project. And since I was here and participating in all the events, I did see what other schools did. So I was also able to help give input on ideas that other schools would use. But being in MESA was really fun, and it was really fun competing against other schools, even though we didn't go to regionals.
Well, I just want to thank you, especially Ms. Flores. I know she's always offered help. We always struggle with juggling, getting students recruited, and they're all doing so many things. So there's always a challenge to get them to meet after school and work on projects. And so sometimes we don't know ahead of time how much stuff we're going to need. Although Dr. Malone has been great, and whenever we need something and we ask her, she provides it for us, supplies. So thank you for all that. And thank you, Ray, for the support you provide for the program. We hope we can grow it and again, get more kids into the engineering profession. That's the goal. So thank you all.
Have any comment from the board?
Just congratulations, girls and gentlemen, whoever did it. You guys did a great job. You're the new Big Bang Theory now. Beautiful women and very intelligent. So thank you.
I just wanted to commend the entire team, whether they made it to regionals or not. You guys are the leaders of tomorrow. I loved seeing the girl power there because so long we were so underrepresented in the field of science. I commend you all for whatever choices you're making, because this problem-solving experience that you went through, the inquiry, the failure, the successes will help you for the rest of your lives. And I commend you all, and I hope you continue with that inquisitive nature as you go through your lives.
Just again, commending all of you for everything. I'm sure you're in celebration mode until graduation next week, so I'm sure you'll get enough of it. But before we leave, I need someone to explain what the MESA machine is, because I hear so much people talking about that, but I have no idea what it is, so. Go ahead, yeah. Okay, that.
We just gotta create whatever we want. We're kind of limited to some things, but for the most part, our creativity.
Thank you for that. All right. Yeah, of course, Dr. Alvarez.
First of all, I want to congratulate all of you. To see all seniors graduating, going on to college, whichever one you may choose or chosen, got accepted to. So speaking from a father who had his daughter go through engineering and graduate as an engineer from a college, I know how difficult it is, especially for a young lady. When you get to college and you sit in your engineering classes, you will be outnumbered by men or males. Don't let that discourage you. Seek a support group. And just like in your MESA core classes and trial and error, just keep pushing forward and you'll make it through. So I wish all of you success in your career endeavors with engineering. Thank you. Yes.
Maybe the board, we could be, yeah, yeah. So we'd be like, stay in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the people in the back and.
Or should we line up this way?
It's very nerdy. Just talking about science.
We're like in the way of everything. I don't think they're gonna be.
Yeah, look at that.
Tantito de la vida, ¿verdad?
No, I got just like the picture. I saw that. I seen it. I seen it in the camera. Yes. This way.
Okay, everyone ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks, babe.
Those are the kids I went to. It's inspiring.
Thank you, Ms. Lee Nolasco. We'll now move on to item number 4. This is University Bound Senior Recognition. Dr. Alvarez.
Yes, thank you, Board President, members of the board. Although we have many seniors going on to college here at Bassett High School, we thought we'd take a moment to just recognize a few of them. And so we have, I think some of them already been mentioned here. So I'm just gonna read some names. Actually, I'm gonna move over to Dr. Harrison. Why don't you introduce them? I know you have
Sure.
certificates as well.
Sure, yes, Dr. Maldonado has, we prepared some certificates and Dr. Maldonado is gonna bring her students.
I just wanted to really take a moment to just express to the board all of our appreciation for all of your support. As many of you were in attendance last week, we gave upwards of about $60,000 in scholarships to our college-bound seniors. We have so many kids getting into so many schools. And I will say this, it's sometimes it's in spite, right? In spite of what our kids face, right? We're doing things that other kids do with all kinds of privilege, and we're still making it happen. Even though some of us are going to USC, our Bruin people will get it. Sometimes. But just saying, super excited to be able to share the stories of these young ladies. Again, a lot of female power in this room, males too, but I mean, we're shining through. So I'm here to be able to present these recognitions for our seniors, and they will say a couple of words, and I'm super excited to be able to present to you some of our students. And thank you for the opportunity, Miss Andrea Camacho. We will share a few things with you.
Hi guys, I'm back. So my name is Andrea, and like I said earlier, I will be going to USC majoring in aerospace engineering. So one of the reasons why I wanted to major in aerospace engineering was because I love space. When I graduate from university, hopefully I get to work for NASA. I really want to work with spaceships. Maybe I'll be an astronaut. Well, that would be pretty cool. So that's really, reaching for the stars, but it's part of my major. One thing I loved about being an Olympian at Bassett was the community that I felt there. At Bassett, I'm part of the marching band, and at USC, they also have a marching band, a really cool marching band. So I do plan to also pursue that when I go to USC, and just the community there. I can envision it's going to be so cool. And yeah, that's what I loved about being at Bassett, and I'm sure I'm going to love it there at USC too. Thank you guys so much.
And the next student I have the privilege of presenting is Ms. Brianna Aguilar.
Hi, my name is Aguilera, and I'm planning to become an orthodontist, as I said, UC Riverside. I'll be continuing my education after high school to achieve that goal. I appreciate being an Olympian because it taught me discipline, pride, and the value of representing something bigger than myself. I am grateful for all the opportunities I had here at the Bassett High School and all the clubs I've been to. And I'm excited to extend that journey into university. So thank you.
And next on our list, teacher Aguilar, Ms. Cassandra Thorne.
Okay, so I'm gonna be attending at UCI. I'm gonna major in biology in hopes of being a pediatric optometrist. I just love working with kids, and also I'm also intrigued by the eyes. Like, I don't know, my whole dad side wore glasses, and then I thought I was the lucky one not wearing glasses until I got diagnosed and used glasses. So yeah, and I just want to say I'm so glad to be an Olympian, growing up here, just seeing my community, and yeah, I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Will be Ms. Jacine Rolon.
Like I said earlier, I'm gonna be attending UC San Diego and I plan on majoring in psychology so I could take the pre-law path and hopefully become a lawyer when I'm older. But one thing that I really appreciate about like Bassett growing up in this community is I've been here since elementary, since kindergarten. So I've been in this district my whole life. So you get to meet like a lot of great people. And I think one of my favorite things is like the teachers, because I feel like over the years I've always had like a good bond with my teachers, especially my counselors. So shout out to Mr. Pena, Mr. Ernesto, and Mr. Figueroa. But like I think the Figueroa family in general has like helped me a lot, considering the fact that like I've had them all once either as teachers or as my counselors. But yeah, I just really appreciate the basketball and all the support that I've gotten from the teachers, including my MESA advisors. And yeah, thank you.
Before I bring up our last student, I just want to encourage you all to come back to our community. As you know, you never leave yet. So come back and make our community better. Our next student is Bruin and Ms. Sarai Jaramillo.
So next year I'm gonna be going to UCLA for a psych major. I'm trying to be either a psychologist, a clinical psychologist, or also a social worker. I'm so glad to be part of Bassett's community. I feel like kind of what Dr. Maldonado was saying, although our community is kind of small and we don't have as much of the or the opportunities aren't as easy, I'd say. I think that's what makes it like so much better. Like, and I feel like everyone, like the community is so small, but that makes us all super close. And over the years, I've had such a like great opportunity to make like such close bonds with all my teachers and all the students, all my friends, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. We're super excited to see everybody next week at our graduation. And my baby's off into the world.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maldonado. We'll move on to item number 3. This is the student board member comments. I'm very honored for the final time this term. Sarai and Cassandra, whenever you're ready.
Good evening. The Van Wyck teachers and scholars are hard at work. Third through fifth grade have completed SBAC testing ahead of schedule. Our teachers are continuing to work on the writing with students as we focus on reviewing the writing genres that we worked on all year. Our Van Wyck scholars have amazing brains and they're taking pride in their work and showing what they know. We had over 200 students meet their trimester 3 AR goal and are rewarded with a pajama movie day. Van Wyck also hosted its first family paint night, and we had over 100 people attend. We also took 31 students who had perfect attendance all school year to Shakey's for a perfect attendance reward field trip. There are great things happening at Van Wyck.
Suncrest Elementary, congratulations to the folklorical dance group who gave a fantastic, beautiful performance last week. We are so proud of your efforts to practice all year and perform like professional dancers. Thank you to Mrs. Espinoza for our first grade teacher and choreographer. We appreciate you. We're officially done with our state testing. Congratulations to our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders who worked hard to do their best on their tests. A special tiger shout out to our 3rd graders who are in dual language Spanish class, who took an additional state test called the CA Spanish Assessment. Congratulations to our ASB students who planned a fabulous mother/son dance earlier this month. It was wonderful to see our families come together to dance.
Edgewood Academy recently held its Edgewood Carnival. This is a PBIS event where students get to enjoy food, games, and fun. Thank you to Think Together, bless you, for working alongside the PBIS team, Edgewood staff, and parent volunteers to create such a memorable day for our students. We also welcome Bassett High School seniors for their college tour. Our excited knights lined the hallways of their campus to cheer them on and hold signs of motivating words as they walk by. The Bassett High School band also made a visit to Edgewood to showcase their musical talents. Thank you to Bassett High School for making connections with their students. A few other exciting events that took place were the spring concert where TK to second grade classes sang Disney-inspired songs. TK parent involvement, where students and families created small cars for the car show at the park. Our 8th grade field trip to Knott's Berry Farm and John's Incredible Pizza. This week is a week of celebrations for the end of the year awards assemblies. TK the 8th grade students will be recognized for the tremendous work throughout the year. With SBAC behind us, the focus of the end is the end of the year benchmarks. Our brave knights are finishing the school year just like we started, strong.
Julian Elementary, our nines just completed their SBAC testing in grades 3rd to 8th grade. Looking forward to seeing all the progress we have made this year. We recognize our perfect attendance students with a trip to Shakey's for a day of all you can eat brunch, a lunch and games in the arcade room. We want to give a big shout out to our amazing classified staff for all their hard work with our students. Don Julian held our annual end of the year color run on Friday, May 23rd, with a huge student and parent turnout. Award season coming up, we look forward to recognizing our student of the year, most outstanding in ELA and math, AR top readers, and perfect attendance students.
As the school year comes to a close, our Trojans are demonstrating incredible spirit and determination to finish strong. With SBAC testing now complete, our students are ready to dive into a series of end of the year celebrations. Our 8th grade class has kicked off the festivities with a fun and well-earned movie day, and are now eagerly anticipating the upcoming barbecue this Friday. This event will offer students a chance to sign yearbooks, enjoy delicious food, and spend meaningful time with friends and teachers as they reflect on their middle school journey. The celebration continues with one of the most eagerly awaited events of the year, the Knott's Berry Farm trip on Wednesday, May 29th. This special outing serves as a reward for students' hard work and a perfect way to create lasting memories before heading off into high school. On Tuesday, May 27th, we'll host our second semester award ceremony, where we'll honor students for their academic excellence honor roll, positive citizenship, and remarkable improvement throughout the semester. This celebration highlights the dedication, perseverance, and growth our students have demonstrated all year long. We're also preparing for the 8th grade promotion ceremony, a proud milestone marking the transition to high school. Our talented Trojan band will perform, adding a special touch to the meaningful event as you recognize and celebrate each student's achievements. Rounding out the year is our PBIS Field Day, a fun-filled day of outdoor activities designed to celebrate positive behavior and school spirit. It's a wonderful way to end the year on a high note and reward students for making good choices throughout the year. Let's finish strong with pride, enthusiasm, and Trojan excellence.
Bassett High School. Good evening, board members, superintendent, and members of the community. It has been an exciting and eventful few weeks at Bassett High School as we approach the end of the school year and prepare to celebrate our graduating class of 2025. We are incredibly proud of our students and grateful for the dedication of our hardworking staff. On March 16th, we celebrated our seniors and their post-secondary plans during our final Renaissance Rally of the year. We also recognized 80 students who achieved perfect attendance for the month of April, a commendable accomplishment. Our band recently had the unique opportunity to perform at Disneyland on Saturday, May 17th. It was a memorable experience that our students will cherish for years to come. Additionally, our spectacular cafe students also visited Disneyland to celebrate the remarkable success of their coffee cart business. Over the past 2 years, these students have developed valuable life skills, including entrepreneurship and customer service. We are extremely proud of their hard work and extend our heartfelt thanks to Ms. Guerrero for leading this inspiring project. We also want to thank our students, family, and dedicated staff, Mr. Figueroa, Ms. Chan, and Ms. Rugen for supporting our successful Saturday school program that offered credit recovery, attendance recovery, and academic support throughout the year. On May 21st, our PBIS team, Ms. Chan, Ms. Morales, and Ms. hosted an ice cream party for students who were nominated by teachers by demonstrating outstanding positive behavior. It was a great way to reinforce the values we uphold at Bassett. In another highlight, ASB hosted a lunchtime concert featuring Magnus Farrell, son of actor Will Ferrell. The performance brought great energy and excitement on campus and was a wonderful experience for our students. Our special education department had a heartfelt luncheon in honor of our graduating seniors, recognizing their perseverance and achievements. We are also proud to share that the Bassett High School hosted our annual awards night at the Industry Hills Expo Center for the first time. It was a beautiful evening celebrating the accomplishments of our students, who collectively earned over $40,000 in scholarships and awards. We're deeply grateful for our counseling team, Mr. Roscoe, Mr. Peña, and Mrs. Topshin, Ms. Morales, and Ms. Olivers for organizing the incredible event, for all of our staff for making it a night to remember. Looking ahead, we're excited to host our inaugural BHS Luau at the Aquatic Center as we prepare for the final exams and graduation. The energy on campus is high and filled with anticipation for what's to come. These are truly remarkable times at Bassett High School. We thank our entire school community and their ongoing support and look forward to celebrating as seniors while preparing our underclassmen for continued success in the year ahead. Thank you, and as always, it's a great day to be an Olympian.
At Nova Vista High School, during a classified appreciation week, Nova Vista High School proudly celebrated Ms. Brianna Acosta, Mr. Jonas Ramirez, and Ms. Theresa Rodrigo, expressing our heartfelt gratitude for their unwavering dedication, time, and commitment to our students, family, and staff. We're gearing up for benchmarks exam this week, our seniors' final step before graduation. As they take their graduation photos in caps and gowns, we're also celebrating with a school-wide luncheon, a senior breakfast next week, graduation practice, and finally the big day itself. Join us in honoring the class of 2025 at our graduation ceremony on June 4th at 5 p.m. at Bassett Adult School. All are welcome. As we wrap up the current school year, we're looking ahead with excitement to what's next. Highlights for the upcoming school year include launching our HVAC pathway in partnership with Bassett Adult School and continuing our dual enrollment and college readiness programs through collaboration with Mount SAC. We're also expanding student leadership opportunities, enhancing credit recovery options, and deepening our commitment to career and technical education to ensure all students are prepared for life after high school. It's always a great day to be an explorer.
Thank you very much. Now, before we go into the public comments, I'm mindful that the students might leave. Was there any interest from board members to make any remarks to student honorees before they might leave? I know we still have public comments before our board member remarks. Does anybody want to say anything to them?
Congratulations to all of them. A job well done. Very smart, intelligent young men and women. I wish you the best, and I know you are going to do the best and succeed in everything that you do. So I hope to see you when you're big and we're little down here, and you come and see the little people down here and visit us. So, but yes, I wish you all the best. Thank you.
It's just so inspiring to see all of you here. I'm so proud to be a member of this community. I think because we were part of this community, it's just a little bit more special for us to see you guys out there because we were you not too long ago. Well, maybe you. But yeah, so because we are a small community and we see how much Bassett gives to us, and inevitably you're gonna come back and you're gonna want to give back. It's just that love that you have because this is home. You know, class of 95, and here I am. So, you know, I look forward to seeing what the future brings for you guys. You deserve anything and everything the universe has to offer. We are so proud as an educator, as a community member, to see all your faces and just thank you to the educators that have gotten you here and your families and your strength. You are strong. You are leaders now. Never be a follower again. You are leaders. So I look forward to, you know, your next chapter. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of you, all the students who were presented today. You'll have to wait till my board comes. But to all of those of you who were here, yes, I did get to attend the regionals. And where is she? Racine, is it? Racine? Or Jacine, sorry. Jacine. It was just so interesting watching her. Is the marble gonna fall? Is it gonna fall? Is the marble gonna set it off? And watching you launch your airplane. She had a really fabulous aircraft, okay? And it was all bedazzled. It looked really nice, very special. So I could see how she got designed, first in design. It was very good. But overall, you're all moving forward. You're taking the next chapter of your life. This is college. And as my colleague said, you're the future. You're the future. You're going to be taking care of us. So wherever your career path takes you, just keep going forward. Keep going forward. Don't give up. Keep trying, because that's what it's all about. You know, you may change your major once. You may change it even twice. But find something. Find a career path. What is it? The expression they say: if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And that's you. The world is yours. It is your oyster. What are you going to make of it? You have the pen. This is your book. You write your story. Okay, so I'm very, very proud. I know our Bassett students can do this. I fully believe 200% in our students. And I thank the administration for their support to the students. You're at a great place, and someone said it, you know. Yes, we are a small district, but it's that small district that we are that makes us so strong. Because why? Because you have community, you have support. And we, as a board, are here to support you. You are the reason I sit here. And I wish you all the best of luck. Yes, I will be there Thursday, and I intend to shake every single one of your hands. So, but thank you very much for all you do. This is great accomplishments for you.
I actually wrote my board comments directed at you, but since you might leave, I'm going to say them now. We celebrate many milestones in our lives: our first birthdays, kinder promotion, our first date, our driver's license, but nothing's more publicly celebrated than high school graduation. I know high school can be a whirlwind of experiences. You navigate the halls filled with laughter and tears and countless memories. Us older folk made friendships that have lasted a lifetime so far, and so will you. The Bassett graduating class of 2025 faces challenges unlike we've ever had, though. I pray that you make good decisions and follow your dreams. Remember, life is a series of transitions, and while it might be daunting, it is also where we might find our greatest opportunities. I wish you luck and success, whether heading to college, vocational training, entering the workforce, taking a year off to explore, to embrace the possibilities, and to stay true to yourself, or to go to space. In a world where that often tries to mold us to be something that we're not, hold on to your individuality. Pursue your passions and stand up for what you believe in. And never be afraid to share your unique voice. You have the power to make a difference, not just in your own life, but in the lives of many others. Congratulations to you here and to your classmates. And remember to be kind.
Myself, just want to say, as many of you, as my colleague over here, I'm a fellow alumni of Bassett High School myself, and just so proud and excited for everything that you're all going to do. That one saying that guided me a lot was be the change you want to be, or be the change in the world you want to see, something along that area for infinitely forever. But like, you don't necessarily have to wait till, you know, next Thursday or next Friday morning to do that. And I think all of you haven't waited. I think you're doing it actively right now. And I think you're going to do a lot of great things in the future. To, I believe it was the Trident who's going to go into pre-law. That's something that I initially wanted to do. I was part of the initial pre-law pathway to law program at Rio Hondo before I transferred to UCLA. But my heart, I think, to the Trojan, unfortunately, because I went to UCLA, who's going to go into NASA. If I was any good at math, and you could tell this to Mr. Barbarena, because I was not good at it at all, I totally would go into like astrophysics. Like that's something that in my heart at heart, like I'm totally obsessed with it. But here I am in education policy, for those who can't do that. But every single one of you here, those who I'm sure aren't listening, but for some reason might be listening, and everyone who will be in the ceremonies next week, not only for Bassett, but Nova Vista, just keep doing the amazing things. And as your principal had mentioned, please come back. Some of y'all might not have like the chance to escape. You might just be stuck here. But if you do leave, please come back, because you know this is our community. We are small, we're tiny, but we're mighty, as a lot of us tend to say. And I think it's just a part of giving back in any way you can. So nothing as poetic as that. I didn't have like a whole script prepared, but just from the bottom of my heart, super proud of everything you're gonna do, and just congratulations. That being said, you're more than welcome to stay for public comments. I just want to make sure before you left, we had the opportunity to say.
And don't forget to thank your teachers and your parents on your way out.
Yes.
Definitely always thank them.
So item number 3 is public comments related to closed session items. The board will now begin public comment portion of the meeting. All public comment cards for both closed session and open session items must be submitted by this point of the meeting. The board will now hear public comments related to closed session only. Comments which do not address closed session items will not be heard during this time, but may be heard during public comments related to closed session. In order to conduct the public's business of the district in an organized manner for the privacy and safety of the community members and to help district staff respond more directly, the board requires that public comments comply with certain procedures, including when addressing the board, speakers are requested to identify themselves and speak from the podium. Speakers may address only items that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Speakers may not reserve or grant any portion of the speaking time to other speakers. Speakers are expected to maintain order, decorum, and not disrupt the meeting or use profanity when addressing the board. Complaints should follow the district's complaint procedure before addressing the board. Speakers are to adhere to the applicable time limit of 3 minutes. The total time allotted for public comments on closed session agenda items is set at 20 minutes. In the event the estimated time for public comments based on the number of interested speakers will exceed 20 minutes, the presiding officer may equitably decrease individual speakers' time to permit as many voices as possible. Pursuant to state law and board bylaws, the presiding officer may remove a disruptive individual from the board meeting so long as the individual is first warned by the presiding officer that their behavior disrupting the meeting and failure to cease such behavior may result in removal. If the behavior does not promptly cease, the individual may be removed. To ensure speakers can be heard clearly, members of the audience that has been significantly reduced are requested to maintain a quiet listening environment and silence electronic devices. The board is committed to facilitating the public comment portion of the meeting in an inclusive and organized manner and to hear from the community in which the board serves and is accountable to. Thank you. Is it just Easter? All open, perfect. Oh, well, I did that for close. So it's the exact same for open. So if we're okay with that, there's none for close. So for open, we will start with Joseph Carrillo.
Good evening, Board of Education, staff, and community. My name is Joseph Carrillo, CSEA President. CSEA has an item on the agenda tonight for our tentative agreement for the 24-25 reopener contract. We would like to recommend a yes vote to the board. We also wanted to acknowledge the board's decision to help CSEA mitigate the health and welfare costs that have been impacting our members at a disproportionate rate. We would like to thank the board, the superintendent, and the district negotiations team for a smooth and respectful negotiating year. Although the May revise did not paint the best picture, we still look forward to a productive negotiating year after the summer break. We also wanted to highlight the work of the Personnel Commission. They've recently approved and released a comprehensive salary study that identifies how our classified positions compared to those in the region. Like our brothers and sisters in BTA, we do not expect that we can go from an underpaid status to leading the state in wages. However, we do want to be a place that compensates their employees competitively. So we join the Board of Education in your continued commitment to make Bassett more competitive to attract and keep the best talent we can. This salary study does identify an issue, though, with the current strategy of small, consistent blanket salary increases. Although this approach works for teachers, since most share the same title, CSEA is a membership of many classifications on different ranges. So at times we need to be more specific and strategic by addressing underpaid classifications identified by salary studies more directly. So we ask the board to take up this challenge with us and endeavor to find a solution that keeps Bassett solvent, while perhaps over multiple years addresses the problem. CSEA would like to congratulate the Board of Education, the staff, the community, and especially our students in completing a successful school year. Great job, graduates of 2025. CSEA would like to congratulate our scholarship recipients at Bassett High School, Daniel Guerrero and Sean L. Guzman, and at Nueva Vista, Nathan Alcocer. Also want to say happy Memorial Day, honor the fall, and let's come back recharged for another productive school year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll now go on to Anna Alman.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Disculpen que no hable inglés
I apologize for
porque no me van a entender.
but you will not understand me.
Es breve lo que voy a decir.
What I'm gonna say is brief.
sobre la señora, la Miss Maldonado, la directora de quiero más que nada agradecerles a todos por tenernos una directora así.
I would like to thank all of you for having such a
Yeah.
great principal.
Ha sido muy eficiente con nuestros hijos, con la educación de los estudiantes de base.
She's very efficient with our kids and their education.
Y podría decirles mil cosas que nos gusta de ella,
And I would say about
pero pues es poco el
a
tiempo.
thousand things about her.
Y veníamos en realidad por la de DILAC, por la comité de
In
DILAC,
reality, we came regarding the
pero
but
queremos hablar sobre de ella un
we would like to
poquito
talk
y
about Dr. Maldonado
agradecerles que nos
and
tengan
thank you
personas
for
así
having such a great person
en el distrito,
in the district.
porque es una persona con la que nosotros nos podemos comunicar los padres sobre
Because
los
she's someone
problemas de los
that
hijos.
parents can communicate with in regards to their children, their students.
Y ella es muy flexible también con todos nosotros, con los padres.
She's very flexible with all the parents.
Y vemos el trabajo que ha hecho en Bassett y estamos, no hayamos ni siquiera cómo corresponderle porque
We see
la
all the hard
verdad
work.
es una muy buena directora la que tenemos ahorita en Bassett.
We see all the hard work that she's put into the high school, and there's no, we can't figure out a way for us to thank her. She is a great principal at Bassett High School.
Así que, como les dije, es algo breve, pero ojalá que siempre la tengamos a ella porque a veces se hacen cambios buenos, pero también malos, y este cambio que hicieron poniéndonos a esta directora, para nosotros fue muy bueno.
Once again, I want to thank you for having such a great principal at Bassett High School. I know that there's times when changes are made, and this is the change that would make for the best. As parents, we want to thank you for having such a great principal at Bassett.
Porque pues miramos cómo está trabajando con nuestros estudiantes y con eso estamos bien agradecidos
And
con
we are
ella
very thankful
y con todos ustedes por ponernos
with all
esas
of you for
personas
having such a great
profesionales
person
ahí.
at Bassett
¿Ok?
High School.
Muchas
Thank you.
gracias, era todo.
Thank you, that's all.
María. Thank you.
Hola, buenas tardes, soy María Ruiz.
Actually, I'm so sorry, pause. Are we starting at 3 minutes or should it be 6? Because
Just three and then we'll just restart it.
Okay,
Any
thank
more
you.
time, yeah.
No, go ahead. Have all the time you
Soy
want.
María Ruiz, pues ya me ganó todo lo que iba a decir yo. ¿Ves, Anita? Bueno, no, nada más hay que darle las gracias por la directora que nos tienen y como dice ella, podríamos decir muchas cosas de ella, pero yo soy. Ay, yo no sé. Rápido hablar.
I want to thank all of you, like she said, for the principal that we have at Bassett High School.
En mi experiencia,
In my experience,
desde la torch, mi
since
niño ha tenido ha tenido algunos problemas y gracias a ella, mi niño ha seguido adelante.
My student has had some issues.
Yo estoy muy agradecida
Thanks
con
to
ella
Dr. Maldonado, she's been able
como persona, como directora,
I'm very
como
grateful
ser
to her
humano,
as a principal, as a
porque
person,
nos entiende a los papás.
because she understands all the parents.
Como directora y como persona nos
As a
acoge,
principal and
como comunidad nos tiene muy unidos, porque si ustedes llegan a ir al café con la directora, es la escuela que tiene más padres.
She attended a coffee with the principal, and as a school within the district, she's the one that has the most parents at coffee with the principal.
Y los talleres que nos ha dado en la base,
And all the
unos
workshops she's provided at the high school.
muy buenos que nos han ayudado mucho porque nos enseñan cómo ayudar a nuestros hijos en diferentes problemas.
They're great workshops for us parents because they help us guide our students and provide more assistance to our students.
Igual Miss Galaviz es
The
muy
same as Miss
buena.
Galaviz, Dr.
Me
Galaviz.
encanta cómo se complementa todo el equipo de base para ser una mejor escuela.
The parents appreciate it, like how Ms. Dr. Galaviz and Dr. Maldonado complement each other to help all the students at Bassett High School.
Y por favor, no la quiten,
And
déjenla.
please don't take her away from us.
Déjenla más tiempo porque apenas se está componiendo la escuela, ¿vale?
Leave her with us for a while because the school's getting better now.
Okay, thank you. ¿No entregaste el papel?
No entregué
Papel. No, ya no sé.
Bueno,
No.
ok.
All right. I can't. I'm sorry. We can't. I'm sorry.
Disculpe, no se puede.
So cute.
Yes, I did this already. So we will now move on to item number 5, superintendent comments. Dr. Alvarez.
Thank you, Board President, members of the board. Just a few comments. As Shapiro said, yesterday we celebrated or honored our fallen servicemen for Memorial Day. Just always a day to reflect on the lives people have sacrificed and given during their time in service. This last week, I had the opportunity to help several of some of our management and other classified staff to serve during Classified Appreciation Week on Wednesday. I did want to give a special thank to Janelle, Liz, and everyone who worked hard in putting it together and being there that day. It's pretty hectic when you're planning something, and then when it's all over, you just want to lay down and not go to work for a few days because you're exhausted. But I did want to thank her team, Personnel Commission, and everyone else who helped with that. It was great to see all our classified employees have the opportunity to see those that they don't normally get to see in their day-to-day work here in the district because they're just different sites or whatever it may be. So just thank you for that. I also got an opportunity to attend Word Night Scholarship. You've heard that mentioned several times. Scholarships given by CSCA, BTA, management of the group, individual alumni. I think there were so many, Beth. There's so many scholarships. So I think it was in total over close to $60,000. So that was just great to see. And I did like the venue at the expo. I know work with Dr. Mulder, adding some more lights and some more decorations. And chairs. Oh yeah, because we did run out of space. That's right. But it was great to have it there. I think it's always a great opportunity to have our parents and our students leave the confinement of either the 4 walls in the school site or, the corners around the school site and go somewhere else to celebrate. So it was just great to see that. And then I know we still have about a week and a half of school year left, but I do want to take this opportunity to just thank all our staff, our certificated, our classified, our unrepresented, our management, everybody who comes to work day in and day out to support our students one way or other, whether in the classroom, direct service, indirect service, whatever it may be. Just want to thank you all for your hard work and dedication to the students of the Bassett Unified School District. It does not go unappreciated. We really do appreciate everything you do for us. And with that, just wish everyone a safe rest of this week. It's going to be a busy next week with all our promotions, our ceremonies, and graduation. So look forward to seeing everyone at these different events. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Go on to board member comments. Board member Dina Flores.
Thank you. Memorial Day, it's a day to honor and mourn the men and women who died while serving in the U.S. service. It's a day for reflection and remembrance of the sacrifices that were made by those who gave their lives for their country. We live in the land of the free because of the brave. Okay, so I need you wait, huh? So to our student board members, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks for your dedication and service as student board members. I want to take a moment to sincerely acknowledge the heart, thoughtfulness, and leadership you brought to the table. You offered valuable insight and a strong commitment, keeping the students at the center of everything that we do. Your presence was always thoughtful and honest and grounded in care for your school community. It's been a pleasure working with you. I'm excited to see where your career paths take you. And as everybody's told you, come back, share, should create an alumni committee. I know you'll continue to make a difference wherever you go. Keep that leadership with you. And I wish you every success in the next chapter of your life. Thank you again for everything. You remind us of what truly matters. You remind us of why we are here, listening, learning, and keeping the students at the center of everything that we do. Thank you so much. Okay, I did get to attend the Bassett High School Awards night. It was really great. It's an amazing night to celebrate the hard work and achievements of all our Olympians. Congratulations to the Bassett High School class of 2025. It was announced the valedictorian, Chelsea Sue. Salutatorians are still sitting here with us, Sarai and Cassandra. Principal for the day, Ariana Gino. Academic awards, 54 students. Write these numbers down, okay? 54 students received the Honor Student Achievement Award, which recognizes students for their academic excellence and other accomplishments. 21 students received the Golden State Merit Recognition Award, and that's given to public school graduates who demonstrated a mastery of curriculum in at least 6 subject areas. 44 students received the Seal of Biliteracy Recognition Award, and that is the students that are very proficient in 2 or more languages. And we're talking speaking, reading, and writing. I'm gonna tell you, I say I'm bilingual, but I struggle, you know, with writing Spanish, but I mean, I could speak it, I could read it. It'll take me an hour, but yeah. There were 27 scholarships given, and 27 scholarships totaling north of 62,000. And in total, there were 112 students received those scholarships, because of course there were some that got 1, 2, and yeah, more. So this was really great. I'm excited for you all. Great job, Bassett. I also want to thank the DLAC committee for their dedication and commitment to the students at Bassett. Great presentation we had this evening. Thank you to Ms. Janelle Sanchez and Elizabeth Reith for coordinating the CSCA barbecue. I was not able to make it, but I'm hearing great things about it, so that's really good. I really do appreciate the parents that came to share their comments regarding Dr. Maldonado. It's not often that we get that, but it really is a testament that we are heading in the right direction with our high school. So I fully support, you know, and this is what communication happens, you know, when the administration talks and principals work together. The team is amazing over there. Also, thank you to DJPTA. They hosted their 2nd annual car show. It was great. It was great. I love old cars. It's really great. And once again, I called the winner before it was announced, so that was really good. It was a great event, and it was filled with community engagement, food, and great, wonderful cars. I even posted some of them if you follow my social media. Tomorrow, Bassett Council PTA will be hosting Founders Day. And Founders Day basically celebrates our members for their commitment and dedication to the students of their respective campuses. So as we mentioned earlier, we said it, we are small. Bassett is small. But again, I fully believe that that is what makes us so strong. And as we wrap up this year and y'all take a break and come back, I know we're going to come back with fresh ideas, new things, and I love that we continue to improve on what we currently have right now. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to the administration for making this a great year. And we will see you in the coming days at promotions and graduations. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Board Member Dolores Rivera.
Thank you. Good evening, Bassett. I hope everybody had a great Memorial Day. I know we did. It was a little sad, bittersweet, because one of our students has a plaque at the high school that went to school with my kids, and they were very close, and he passed in battle, you know. So I'm glad that they have it there and we're able to see him and thank him for all his contributions. And there's another student who, for the life of me, I cannot remember his name. And like we say in Spanish, if you can't remember their names, they must be very tight, even with their name, because I can't remember his name. But yeah, and thank them also, because without their freedom, Ronnie went to the Gulf or Desert Storm, one of those at that time. And that's where he lost his life for us. And the other one student, I can't remember his whole history, but we remember them. And my kids were talking about him and all his silly things that he did. He started very young with the Young Marines. So he was still in middle school when he was doing the Young Marines, and he really enjoyed it. And his sisters continue here at Bassett, at Edgewood and all that. So I'd like to keep that in mind, remembering him and for him, the freedom that he gave us. I also like to thank all the students reps You guys did a great job in announcing everything, both of you, in your own way, individual, but it was great. So thank you very much. I also like to thank all the staff, and I mean everybody, administrators, classified, teachers and everything, and parents, because without all of them, we're like a cake, a beautiful cake, small, beautiful cake with flowers and everything, but we need the flour, we need the eggs, we need sugar, we need this, and we all complement it until we make that beautiful, beautiful cake. So, with that, and it shows that we're all united and we're all together, even with the parents, because we're going in the right direction that we should be going. And that I like, so thank you all for your hard work, your dedication, everything that you do for our students and our community, because you're not just doing it for the students, you're doing it to enrich our community also. With the workshops for the parents and the high school coffee with the principals workshops are not just to help the students, but Ms. Maldonado brings, or community colleges, they bring in programs that also de-stresses the parent, or how to deal with the stress, or how to deal with budgets, or how to deal with problems, so it's not just focused on the child, because if the parent's not good, the child's not good. So we take care, they're taking care of the parents, and then they help with taking care of the children. So it's a great combination, and we really got this really rooted thing together. The principals all work together. I see classified out there working, very happy. Everybody talking and happy. Teachers, when I go to the schools, there's a few that are not, but we can please everyone or whatever. But I'd like to thank everybody, because we're finally getting what we're supposed to be doing for our students and our community. So I'd like to thank them. And then thank you for the car show that PTA and Ms. Tula, the Tulas worked hard on. It was very nice. And let's keep on doing it. I know there was a lot of people there attending it, and it was a lot of fun. So that, and I think that's it. I'd just like to thank everybody, and good night. And thank the parents for coming and speaking. So good night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Board Clerk Norma Gonzalez.
Good evening. I just want to start off thanking our student leaders here. I'm the newbie on the block, but from the short time that I've seen you young ladies here, what I see is poise and confidence, and so congratulations, on all of your successes, well earned, well deserved. And once again, I look forward to seeing where your journey leads you. And don't forget about us here at Bassett. I'm looking forward to the end of the year festivities. My apologies to Nueva Vista and the adult school. I tried my best to make it to all of the schools before the end of the year, but since I didn't get to visit those two schools, I will definitely make them a priority for the next school year or before, whatever comes first. I want to say congratulations and thank you to our classified, our CSEA union brothers and sisters. It was your week last week, and I know at my school we celebrate our classified, because I've said it once and I'll say it again. They are the backbone. We can do what we do as educators because of the classified staff, and we couldn't achieve what we do without you. So thank you. I would like to thank Mr. Tavite for your work with the parents. You can tell just by the way they speak that they are very involved and they love what they do, and they're very dedicated. So thank you for providing that for our parents to be a part of, and guiding that conversation. Before I end my comments, I do want to say that what we have here is very rare. And I know that because I've been a union leader in another district. I am an educator in another district, and it's very, very rare to find from top down such a close community, open communication,
open dialogue, open conversations. We're not always going to see eye to eye, and some of us need to be a little more vulnerable than others when accepting, criticisms or, just suggestions. But what I see from the few months that I've been here is just amazing. The communication between the unions and the district office is very powerful. And that's how things get done. And that's how we make the road successful for our students, is maintaining and nurturing these relationships, this open communication that we have. Because like I said, it's so rare, it's very rare. And as I've been traveling to take my governance courses, I get to meet other people from other districts, from the top of California all the way down. And I have yet to hear anyone describe their school district the way ours runs. So thank you to every single person here. This being my first, closing of a school year, I look forward to what the next full year that I'm gonna be able to get to experience has to bring. So thank you to every single person, from Dr. Alvarez to, the last person who turns off the lights at the end of the day. So thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing everyone again at all the festivities. Thank you, good night.
Board Vice President Patrice Stanzioni.
Forgive my informality and attire. I wanted to give a big thank you to Don Julian for being the perfect host while I was the principal for the day over there. As I walked through every single classroom, every single child was actively engaged. There is nothing that a teacher wants more than that. And it was in every single classroom. Kudos to the entire staff over there and to Mr. Ionis for running a real great ship, because the kids were happy and engaged and laughing and participating in whatever they were doing in class. What more could we ask for? CSEA, thank you for coming out. We are listening and we are working together, and come out more often. Get put back on the agenda and be here all the time to share great things too. Also, I'd like to thank, as my peers did, the classified staff, because without you guys, who would feed us? Who would put a Band-Aid on a boo-boo? Who would run the school while, our principal is out? It's our office manager. Who would clean our classrooms when we try to pick up everything, but it's not really clean? We couldn't do without classified. To the certificated, as I am one too, we know what we do. We know why we're here. But I want to thank all of them in Bassett. Congratulations to our graduates, especially our two young ladies that sit here. I also wanted to say that I was very impressed by the DLAC recommendations. I think they fit in perfectly with our strategic plan and where we want to go. So kudos to guiding them through that, because they don't come up with it on their own. You had to guide them and show them where they can advance. And the last thing is that we must all remember who died so that we could be free. I've lost a number of students over my years of teaching. And it's a very difficult thing to do. And especially when they are fighting for our freedom so that we can stay here and do what we want to do and be annoying and everything else. So we remember them with great honor. And lastly, be safe and be kind. Have a great night.
For myself, I spoke a lot to what I usually speak on these last board meetings of the school year, so that was done. To our student board members, I've been in your seat. It was not as nice when I was here.
You sat next to me.
No, that wasn't.
Yeah, it does.
Wasn't that?
I was.
Wasn't where he was sitting.
I think who I
You
sat
to
with.
my left.
I sat next to a colleague who I'd rather not bring up, and then before then was Miss Sanchez.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. And before that, when I was getting yelled by the colleague who I didn't bring up, it was by my predecessor, Mr. Solano. Anyway, sat where you sat. And I walked the halls that you both have walked. I mentioned very briefly before the session began that I went to UCI for 10 days and loved the big park in the middle, love Irvine. Some of my closest friends went there for undergrad and grad school. So I know you're gonna have such a great time, Cassandra, and just so proud to watch you blossom throughout this year. Not to say I don't see you really just during these like board meetings. I'm not trying to pretend to be like, I watched you grow like all through high school. I'm not gonna do that right now. But in the little bit I have, even if it was, even just like in Anaheim, after the CSBA conference with Ms. Hoption, just to get to know you a bit better, it has been a pleasure. Same thing to you, Sadi, it has been a pleasure. You'll be going to my alma mater. I've only been there for 2 years, but it's really been 7 because I'm still kind of there. Work at UCLA still, so I'm in your hood for the next 4 years, however long you're there. And please, as I've told many other Bruins before you who graduated Bassett, if you need any type of help, please reach out to me. I mean, you and everyone else, but there is that kind of connectivity that I'm literally there most days of the week. And for both of you and anyone's listening, college can be hard, especially for us who are first generation. Imposter syndrome is a word that I learned late into the game, but feeling like you're not enough, feeling like you don't belong, is very contagious. I even at a few coffee with principals have heard that from parents, or even just the frustration of knowing that I think as Dr. Maldonado Rios mentioned, we do it in spite of, but still having that frustration of you're going to see some of your peers who have had everything, all resources, either some of them do work for it, but to just kind of have like that realization of, damn, I'm from Bassett in comparison to everyone else, which isn't a bad thing, but it's going to feel like you're way behind. You're going to feel like there's an anger behind you. And it's going to suck. It's going to be frustrating. For me, I was not the best academic. My teachers here can attest to that, unfortunately. Ironic enough that I now hold this thing, but it's hard. For me, I am honest about, really struggling with the midterm, really struggling with courses. But finding that, those support groups, if it's with counseling, if it's with faculty, if it's with friends, if it's with classmates, if it's with hallmates, because I believe you both be residing in the dorms there. Just having that support and solidarity. It's just, what I'm trying to say is it's okay to not be okay. As like cliche as that might sound. And I think I'm stressing it so much is because, and I'm a firm believer of this now, you will not succeed academically if mentally you're not doing okay. So I just want to validate that, to know that it will be tough, but that's a part of a rigorous university experience that is the UC. So go Bruins, go Anteaters. I'm so proud of you both and everything that you'll do. Yeah, just thank you for everything you've done for like this last year with us. We'll celebrate more next week and take all the pictures and be super embarrassing then, but for now, thank you for everything you've done here. Said for the most part what I've said earlier to the students and to our parents who I know took off as well. Thank you for coming tonight. And I do appreciate you noting down the date of the July board meeting where we could get some type of action plan on the DLAC presentment. I do not like it when we get, I'm not alleging that here, but I'm just stating what my rationale. I don't like it when we get, these reports from folks and then just file them. I have seen that in the past, and I don't want that to be part of a board where I'm a member of. So it's just making sure we're circling back on stuff. And I know that's the intent. I just wanted to speak it. I'm not I'm not a micromanager, I promise. But, on that spirit, I also want to be very transparent with saying the agenda based off a weekly, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. But also in the summer, I would like to have some type of presentation to the board on the different pathways that we have at the high school, just so we know what actually makes a pathway, what constitutes it, what is the rigors that separates that from just, just a kid happening to be taking these type of courses now they have these skill sets. Particularly now as we, I think, are creating some new ones and withdrawing a few. So I just want to have that intentional board oversight and control of what are the pathways, not because, again, for micromanagement sense, but we are a board of education. I know I make that a comment. I don't like to be a corporate board of directors, a board of education, so making sure we are still overseeing what are the pathways in that sense of itself. So that'll be forthcoming in a couple months. Obviously, it's the end of the year. Let's calm down and give staff some time to prepare for that. But just want to be forthcoming to the board. I've requested that as well. But no, I feel like we're all going to say the same thing over and over again for the next couple of weeks. I basically said it to CSEA and BTA. To our staff, I make it very intentional to like acknowledge y'all as like classroom teachers and then like union members, and then like our employees and union members, because I feel like there's like that context of like, we're not talking about negotiations, we're talking about all the work you've done. But I've told you all a bazillion times this last couple of weeks, it's May, we're doing it, so I'm so proud of everything. But yeah, I'm just being a dead horse at this point. That's it with my comment. We'll just end it very abruptly there. We're good. I promise you. Oh, of course not. One last thing, of course, is shame on me, but of course, Memorial Day, of course, very somber. I don't want to be the one who didn't acknowledge it, not out of, obligation, but out of a genuine appreciation for those who serve. Especially nowadays, taking an oath to protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Very interpretive. Yes, but tyranny, I think I mentioned this once and everyone was like, don't read it, but I read the Declaration of Independence annually to myself just because it inspires me. Don't do that publicly because how lame. But
At least you know what it is.
but it is very poignant these days. And I'm probably of a certain political ideology who I'm not surprised with seeing this country go very authoritarian or police state or X, Y, and Z. I'm of an ideology who have seen that for many years, but it doesn't mean that it's not as shocking and as disappointing and as concerning and alarming to see it happen in this present day. And I think we've all known members who have served, regardless of political ideologies. They do it for patriotism, they do it for service of our country, and we all have, of course, a huge difference of opinion what that means, but I think at the end of the day, it is just seeing our fellow citizen have that pursuit of happiness, that life and liberty. Of course, different interpretations of it, but so much thanks to all those who have made that the ultimate sacrifice, especially to those in our community that we've honored on our campus with our plaques and every single day. So I meant to say that before. I got lost in the sauce of everything else. I apologize, but it doesn't mean it's not that throwing is very important. But now for sure, I'm saying we're done with that. So we'll go on to closed session. So item number 1 is conference with labor negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6. Item number 2 will be public employee employment for the superintendent of schools. Item number 3 will be conference with legal counsel, potential litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, one case. And item number 4 will be public employee performance evaluation, position superintendent of schools. At this time, I ask for unanimous consent, may we adjourn closed session at 6:56 p.m. Hearing none, so ordered. We will now go into closed session. Thank you very much.
Ready?
We'll reconvene at 8:22 p.m. This time, I'd also like to reflect in the minutes that our colleague, Mr. Rivera, has retired from the rest of this meeting session. So we'll go to report of action taken out of closed session. Madam Clerk,
There was none.
thank you very much.
Been confirmed.
Discussion action items. Item number 1, approval of resolutions. 1, resolution number 046-25 proclaiming June 2025 as National School Safety Month. And the resolution 047-25 board compensation for missed meetings. There consent to consider both resolutions at the same time?
It's fine.
Without objection, is there a motion to consider both? Or a motion to approve both? A motion by Ms. Gonzalez. Is there a second?
Oh, second. Can I second?
You may second.
It should say meeting, not meetings.
Board compensation for missed meeting. Duly noted. Stanzioni seconded. Any discussion on the motion to approve both resolutions? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Aye. Aye.
If I may, aye.
You may, aye. Motion carries. We'll move on to item number 2, approve third amendment to superintendent's employment agreement to adjust annual base pay for 2024 through 2025. Pursuant to board direction, the board president recommends that the Board of Education approve the third amendment to the superintendent's employment contract. I would make the motion. Is there a second?
So good.
There's a second from Ms. Stanzioni.
I'll ask if she's sitting right next to you.
It's- Any discussion on? Any discussion?
No.
Thank you. Roll call vote.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item number 3, partnership opportunities with the city of La Puente, discussion only. This is an opportunity for members of the board to share their thoughts on any opportunities to partner with the city of La Puente. For additional context, I'll recognize my for this. For additional context, a few board meetings ago, I mentioned that I would bring to the board this item before I engage in any robust discussions with the city of La Puente. I think the context behind this was the master agreement. Forget the exact term of art we used last year, about a year ago, where the district and the city entered into an agreement for use of facilities, particularly with recreational activities, other type of opportunities, in the community. I don't really think obviously much has come about from those conversations. So now that I'm board president, I'd like to revisit them. I will be meeting with the mayor of La Puente pretty soon, but I would be very uncomfortable to speak without having been informed by the board of what the district actually wants. If I'm wearing the board president hat in that meeting, I would not want to advocate for just what I want to do. So that's why I'm bringing it to the board to be informed of what you all want to do. So this is more specific to the context of, use of facilities, recreational opportunities, community engagement opportunities. We're not talking about any other type of municipal affairs with the city. So just a big open forum, and we'll start with Ms. Stanzioni.
In that they've gotten about $4 million not too recently, basically, after only spending about 200K, it would probably be a good idea to listen to them, because if we can enter to something with joint use and look into what grants are possible using their grant writer, it's been very successful for them. It might help us in things like the tennis courts, or maybe a community garden at our wing, or any number of things.
Ms. Flores.
I think I think a partnership is really good. Since I have sat on this board, I have worked with Gabriel Quinones, was very instrumental in bringing the Leadership Academy, or connecting. Basically, I just connected him to Dr. Maldonado and said, okay, here you go, knock it out. So I think there's a lot to be said for this, and I think it's great opportunities. When we talk about recreational though, and things like that, I would And maybe not just in that, I would appreciate if we were kind of, what's the word I want to say, get community input. Get the community input, because as we have use of fields, we want to make sure that they're on board, so we don't have things that are like happening right now, happening. We could all see something one way, but community sees it, and just give them an opportunity to voice their comments, you know, like make sure that when we talk about this before we take action, you know, announce, hey, you know, this is possibly coming up, you know. When we had the trees put along the high school, I brought that to the board, and it was, everybody knew that all I wanted was the tree wells cleaned, okay? But now we have beautiful trees adorning our high school. Anyway, and we don't even have to take care of them. So yeah, so I think there's a lot to be said for partnerships, not just with the city of La Puente, but work with our legislative advocates, because I just saw that Assemblymember Rubio's office is doing the gardening. And I happen to know that Sunkist is doing some sort of gardening on their campus. So wouldn't it be nice to say, hey, we have this going on over here. So I'm a very big advocate for getting our legislators out there. Our legislators to come visit us. This is what we're doing. This is what their plan is, get the vision so that they will come and visit, you know. Yeah, I think Assemblymember Rubio is north of Amar.
Correct.
Calderon is south of Amar. So, yeah, so I'm a very big advocate for, especially now in these times right now where funding is getting cut, and they seem to be having funding, and doesn't look like we're getting much support from supervisor's office. So I don't know. I think this is a great idea, but I would like to see community input in there.
So I also hear community gardens and community input as a fair representation. And then for yourself, Ms. Anzioia, I got tennis courts and community gardens as well.
And I'd like to concur that we should have community input and see what they like. I know we voiced what we'd like. You know, I think Irwin is ripe for a garden, whether it's a pathway from the high school through the adult school, or a children's garden, or just a community garden that would pull people into our adult school. And there is money out there. There's a slew of garden grants out there. I found about 25 of them. But what if nobody else wants it besides, you know, us? Maybe we should find out and listen to our constituents and see what they want. Because they might have a different view of everything. Because we do want to run it by them before things are done. But I would like to listen to see what they have to offer. And if they have ideas, I know that they've shown interest in the pool, see what that would entail. I do know that the pool has been used by different people before. And I know that I think we finally gave it up because the insurance was too high on it. And so that might circumvent some of that cost. But I think it's really responsible to go and listen to see what they have to say. It might just also give us ideas too that we could do by ourselves. But like I said, they've just reaped in $4 million in grant money after they hired a grant writer, take some of the weight off of Dr. Harrison writing grants, and it cost him $200,000 plus. So it kind of would be nice to just listen and glean whatever information you can.
If I recognize Ms. Gonzalez just as a response to that, I 1000% agree. I think before the board actually entertained entering into any type of agreement or actually, you know, represent, I'm just trying to get some guidance on not to just take a huge liberty and while I have a conversation with folks. But I 1000% agree that we should solicit public input, whether if that's having it as a board agenda item or there being some type of task force, having staff prepare some type of listening session, if that's with us or if that's the city. 1000% we should have more feedback from the public. This was just more in the immediate, we run into them. I find as board president, people, you know, as I speak, it's like, oh, is that just Aaron speaking or is that the Bassett Unified School District? And I feel uncomfortable getting those mixed. So I could, this conversation now is just so I could say, well, actually, yes, the Bassett Unified School District does. And I know that because the Board of Education at least gave me some type of context clues. This does not stop the conversation. We'll keep going, but this is just very preliminary. Sorry, one second. Ms. Gonzalez?
So in my, Dr. Alvarez provided, a document that stated back in 2022, we, had a partnership with Supervisor Solis for the Irwin part of the area. I don't know where that stands now. I mean, I don't know if you're interested in reaching out. If you have any plans to meet at that level with anyone, to get input to see where that project went, or even if the city wants to take that on. But yeah, it was, and I'll forward it to you, but it was a document prepared May 17, 2022, and I believe.
Send it to all of us.
What date was that?
May 17, 2022.
Oh, that's
Do you remember sending that to me?
Yes, about
Is that-
President, if I may.
Yes, please.
So just so for some clarity, that was an action approved by the Board of Supervisors to do a study, feasibility study of doing a park here between us and the adult school, the open field. And actually, the city of La Puente was willing to help out with that. Some of the conversations we had that they were open to were maybe doing the maintenance part of it. As being able to have access themselves. They were looking at maybe if the district, as part of this whole potential project, there is that one portable that sits there and towards the front off of Amar, having access to be able to run some classes out of there as well. Whether it be parent classes or other kind of core classes. And then obviously using the fields, potentially a walking path. They had even thought about maybe one soccer field for youth organizations. So that's some of the conversation that were occurring around the field here between us and the adult school, where it was going to be some kind of joint county and La Puente with us, just obviously providing the facility part of it. And so that's kind of where that was. And the last we heard, we know the Board of Supervisors approved this study. The last communication that I had with them was providing them with the full title of the property. One of the things they wanted to know is, okay, are there any restrictions on this property? So we did provide that with them, and we hadn't heard anything since then.
Maybe if it's safe to say, perhaps if there's some board interest, if we could maybe do a follow-up with the county to see if there's anything that has come up with that, and that way we are at least are aware the county does or doesn't have any active plans with that. And then whenever you could get us that, obviously this is a fluid conversation, so clearly if they haven't gone back to you, it's probably not necessarily super urgent. You know, we have a aquatic center, we have a regional park over here, another regional park over here, the river park, so I mean, they're doing stuff, but yeah. Ms. Flores?
So we would agendize any ideas that come to give and let community know that it's on the agenda, because one of the things that I want to make sure is that community has facts, and facts that come from the board and not from outside sources, because some things get misconstrued and people will listen. So it's better, I would wanted to see it on the agenda so that community is aware, hey, the board is considering this. This is the points, 1, 2, 3, boom. There's no miscommunication, it's transparent. I know if I may say at this time, there is talks, are we gonna be able to open the pool this summer? I know the city, that could be a conversation. I don't know when you're meeting with the mayor, but I would really like to see the pool open this summer. And I know that she had mentioned a lifeguard program. So the city is from Bassett High School down to Sunkist, right?
Correct.
Down to Sunkist. So the space that they're talking about, the county of Uganda, where is it? It's over here. Yeah,
Bassett's
it's
there.
this way. So that's county. And it's amazing how these lines run. But yeah, I'm fully in support of collaborative.
Ms. Tanzioni?
I'd like to push it farther than have it agendized. I'd like to have it blasted social media wise, whether it be print or Sid Garcia, or just on every social media platform we can, because people don't read the agenda. People don't go and say, hey, I wonder what's on the agenda tonight. Let me go see. We need to put in their faces where they are going to read. and let them, and
People talk about it, should.
well, when you think about it, not that many people talk. We have a handful here and a handful there. But most of the people that pay for the taxes in this area for education don't.
Without a doubt.
And they
Well, it
may
would
be the
be-
one,
One
excuse me,
second, yes.
they may be the ones that come back and complain.
Mhm.
You know, I fully expect them to complain about the lighting possibly over at Edgewood at nights, because they complain about all my lights on Wednesdays. You expect people to come back, strange people that you've never seen before, but to circumvent any problem, don't just limit it to the agenda.
Mhm.
Blast it out where people will, where they live,
Mhm.
and they live on social media.
I think, again, this is all, I can't stress how much super preliminary it is. This is just literally me being
Yes.
an overcautious president, and I don't want to speak on this board's
Correct.
behalf without talking to you all first.
Mhm.
But extremely duly noted. I think, I mean, we could talk about, we could plan about what would work best. Is that some type of community forum? Is that a survey? If it's, you know, cause my only concern with like a community forum is like, imagine we get a bunch of people asking this, but it's so preliminary. We literally just want input. It's not
Or
like,
just a
it's,
survey.
yeah, so I mean, survey is the only thing that I think might be good, because that is how we receive information, and I'm only hesitancy behind having some type of live session is whoever is running it, it's like, well, it's like, you know, they can't speak like, we can't do that, like, how do you know? You know,
Well, we
like,
can blast
they
a
don't.
survey.
Yeah, we could do, exactly, and then we could promote that on the marquees, copy with the principal, you know, like we could do that, social media, yes, without a doubt. I think, I just wanna be managing
Yeah, you
realities
don't
and
want crowds,
expectations,
you
yeah.
just want them to answer the question.
Giving people a
Yes.
robust opportunity to provide input in a way that actually makes sense, and at this sense, it's literally, at this time, it's purely, what are people interested in? Not necessarily what can we do, it's just what are we interested in, and then go from there.
They could provide us a lot of support because the high school sits there.
Mhm.
And what if they want to pay for half of a theater? If you look at Dunbar High School,
Mhm.
their theater is owned by the high school / the city.
Mm.
And it's a beautiful facility that reaps in money from renting it out during the summer months to different performers, the professionals that come through there.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
The city auditorium.
and that would augment our rebuild without cost. And it would open up another avenue of income for us. Just think.
Love that. I just have that as performing arts space, just for the
Yes,
sake
no,
of.
that's perfect.
Okay, again, just jotting it down for the viewing public, it's literally just taking notes. For myself, just throwing it out there, I know folks, in the community have questioned about the swap meet. And I do know, at least of me, I'm of opinion to not put that type of burden on our staff. But you know, maybe that's something the city could do, so that's something I'm gonna just put down for myself, swap meet, or some type of other type of, I think as members probably call it third space, which I love to hear that, but it's like, it's not really a third space, you still have to pay to be there, hate capitalism. But maybe, you know, swap meet might be something that they might be able to do. One thing that I was thinking, specifically when it comes down to the 60th anniversary of the high school, and by extension, this unified school district, next school year will be 60th anniversary, and I would love to there be, as there was a decade ago, a jubilee, and maybe the city might be able to help with doing something to that effect. You know, they have all these great parks programming, and maybe it could just be, instead of doing it at the park that Saturday, we do it at the high school that Saturday, and what would be all the logistics that they could do. So that's one thing that I would like to see, if there's any way that they could support having just one big bang for us, if that would be cool, so.
Absolutely.
That was the one thing I wanted to bring forward potentially.
I agree completely with that. But I do have to ask this question, and this is a question that's been gnawing at me. There has been so many comments about them wanting our pool to run a program. Why don't they ask Hacienda de la Puente schools to run their pools? And an answer I got most recently was, oh, did they have one? And La Puente High School just built their own pool, refurbished, and it doesn't look as beautiful as ours. It's not as striking or dramatic, but it is still a new pool. And it's inside the campus, so it has no curb appeal. But I don't know why, and that kind of makes me curious. Why wouldn't they run their programs? That's something you might want to ask. Why would they come to us?
Yeah.
Conversation.
Yeah, I'm like, if I'm ever having a recreational conversation with the city, I might remember, but this is work. I'm like, let's get down to business.
But you wouldn't ask, why don't you go to your own neighborhood and started coming over here?
Well, technically, officially, this
Well,
is, yes.
It is, but why come so far away when they've got in their backyard?
I would say, why do we have to separate? Our high school is in city limits, so they are asking.
This is definitely a conversation with merit, but not the conversation we're having, in my opinion.
Right.
So, any further additions to this? So far I got tennis courts, again, maybe, a hard maybe, I can't stress that enough, this is a maybe, what we're interested in, huge disclaimer. Potentially, tennis courts, community gardens, get community feedback through all of this. Use of the aquatic center, potentially a performing arts space, maybe assistance with the swap meet, maybe coordinating with a big jubilee for the high school. Was there anything else that this is board, without getting robust community input on this topic? Any interest with working with the city?
I'm saying I do have interest, but I would like to, I'm stressing, let's get community input on this.
Yeah. Again, and this is because of this, it's just, again, just whenever I speak to someone like, hey, what does Bassett want to do? I can actually speak with some type of authority. It's not just me speculating on my own part. Okay, then if that's the case, there is no action. This is just me being well informed of what this board preliminarily wants to do. So we are all good there. We'll move on to item number 10, consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered by the board to be items that will be enacted by the board in one motion. There will be no discussion of these items prior to the time the board votes on the motion unless members of the board, staff, or public request specific items to be discussed and or removed from the consent calendar. Are there any matters under consent that members would like? Ms. Flores?
May I have item number, under business services, item number 2-9. Personnel budget.
Proposed personnel commission budget 25-26. Any further matters, Ms. Flores?
Nothing, just-
Any further items from the remaining members? Right. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar as scheduled with the exception of item 2, business services, 9, proposed personnel commission budget? Motion by Ms. Stanzioni. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Gonzalez. Any discussion on the motion? Ms. Gonzalez?
I just want to make a comment towards us approving all of the Think Together programs and continuing that partnership. It is my understanding from the community and the parents specifically that they love this program. They appreciate the program, especially our parents that work late. So you know, I know that in the past I have had some concerns about our connection with Think Together, but in my questioning and asking and finding out, the parents are 100% supportive of Think Together, so as am I. Thank you.
Any further discussion? On that comment from our colleague, I just want to reiterate, I've been in Think Together, I said this story a few times, listening to your words, but they taught me how to spell the word your, since like 4th grade. So I agree, they are incredibly helpful. That's just a little, I know what I want to share. We'll proceed to a vote on the motion to approve the consent with the one pull. Roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Aye, the motion carries. We'll move on to business services, item number 9, proposed personnel commission budget. The superintendent recommends the Board of Education concur with the proposed personnel commission budget for the 2025-2026 school year as submitted by the Personnel Commission. We'll first proceed with discussion prior to motions. Ms. Flores, you're recognized.
Okay, so Ms. Sanchez is here. Am I able to ask her questions directly? That could.
Ms. Sanchez, would you be agreeable to that?
Yes.
If you don't mind.
Yes.
Ms. Flores, you're recognized.
Thank you so much. I just had some kind of questions, and I do see that $3,000 did come back from the actual budget, from the proposed budget, so I'm assuming the difference between the 411 and the 308 is the 3,000 that came back to the district. So we're going to try it again at 411 for the 25-26. I do see something here under membership dues. What actually happened? You budgeted 3,400 for memberships I'm looking at this memberships and dues, yet the actual was 25,000. That's huge.
Yes, if I may, the savings incurred by the Personnel Commission in 24-25 were due to turnover. So we allocated funds because our recruitment is currently in progress for the vacant position. So we would not be filling the position until 25-26. So any funds that are savings, quote unquote, we try to allocate as best we can. So that specific line item is for our applicant tracking system. So that's NeoGov Insight. We've used that for over a decade, and we were able to renew our subscription for 2 years to buy the service up until April 2027 with the savings. So that's the jump on that specific line item.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm understanding. You budgeted 3,400, yet your actual, okay, this is your actual budget. I thought it was your actual expenses incurred. I'm all like, how'd you budget for 3,400 and you actually incurred 25,000?
Well, we did budget for 3,400, assuming that we would have a full staff of 3 members, but because of turnover, we overspent on that specific line item because for 25-26, you'll see that we have no operational costs or expenses.
Right, I see no operational costs. Okay, so again, let's go back up. Is that the same thing that happened? Also here, health and welfare benefits, you budgeted for 33,000. Your actual budget is 29. You're proposing 47,000 for 25-26.
I can speak to that very simply, but our Chief Business Officer, Ms. Barba, can provide additional detail. But health and welfare benefits are a percentage of salary. So if there's a turnover or less salary incurred, then the percentage of health and welfare benefits correlates. But that's as far as I can provide.
If I can chime in just a little bit, if we consider the the vacancy over so much time, that's a savings of not paying towards an employee's medical, dental, vision, and life. And obviously, as you consider the following year with the increase in the medical caps, that would probably be a reflection of it.
Okay.
Are there any further questions from the board? Thank you, Ms. Sanchez.
Thank you.
Any further discussion on the item? For myself, I want to say, I love technicalities, but just changing the phrasing from approval of the budget to concurrence with the budget. And I am very happy the superintendent judgment to concur. And this is just genuine. This is not former commissioner me like talking anyway. I hope that proves good, or at least like manageable financial like aspects of the district. I'm mindful that in the past years, it was the recommendation of this superintendent and previous administrations not to concur. I think in light of the severity of the financial situation of the district, I was not one to interpret rejection as a judgment of the qualities or merits of the Personnel Commission, but rather just the impacts of doing business with the district and trying to get whatever cuts we could do. I see that. So I'm hoping this signals that things are at least not as bad. But who knows? We'll see what next year is. But the mayor revise coming out and all the fun stuff. But to Ms. Sanchez, I commend you. Obviously, as someone who used to work with you in this capacity, I'm very proud to see where you're at, and just want to offer my utmost respect for the work you do and support. I would like to make a motion to adopt the superintendent's recommendation. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Roll call vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. We will now move on to adjournment. Yay. Before 9. Next regular board meeting will be June 10th, 2025. Adjourn to regular board meeting of May 27th, 2025. Is motion by board member Dina Flores. Is there a second of Dina Flores's motion to adjourn? Ms. Gonzalez seconded Dina Flores's motion to adjourn. Okay, I'm sorry. Discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We stand adjourned at 8:52 PM. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.